Hey everybody, it's Caroline and we are back with a first Sunday of the month budget-friendly food video. Today we are going to be making crispy cheesy potato balls and we are going to be utilizing some leftover mashed potatoes. The great thing about using leftovers, which I don't know about in your house, but in our house we don't really love leftovers. So if I can take it and make it into something new that we all want to eat, it does help prevent food waste, which saves you money. It also saves you time utilizing leftovers because half of the ingredients are already cooked and ready to go. So we're going to be making these crispy cheesy mashed potato balls with some leftover mashed potatoes. Like I said, I have about 3.5 cups here. Now you can let them warm up a little bit, just throw them on the counter and let them thaw, or not thaw because they're not frozen. Or you can pop them in the microwave for a little bit because it can be kind of hard to mix the cold potatoes. So it might have been sitting out for a little bit, but they're still pretty cold. So I'm going to chop them up. And I say it's about 3 cups because those are 2-cup containers and they're probably a little more than half full. This'll do. You don't have to add milk, but I'm going to add just a splash to kind of loosen it up a little bit. That was probably 2 tablespoons. But we want to make this into like a dough. So we are going to add flour. You just want to get these back to their mashed potato consistency a little bit. Now again, because we're using up things in the fridge from the holidays, we are going to use leftover cheese. So you can use any cheese really that you like. You could do cheddar or Parmesan. I have probably half a cup of mozzarella because we did make homemade pizza. Especially like if you shred your own cheese. They don't have the preservatives in it, so it can go bad a lot faster. So I like to use that up. And that is probably a good amount of cheese. But I like things really cheesy. I'm like looking at it, thinking, and I am going to add some provolone. So we had some sandwiches that had provolone cheese on them. So I'm going to use a couple slices of that. And the sliced cheese I'm not so worried about. I guess I could throw the shredded into the freezer too. But I'm just going to rip apart a couple pieces of provolone and just add that in here. Now we aren't going to add any salt or pepper to this because I already salted and added some pepper when I made them into mashed potatoes. And then you have the saltiness from the cheese, so that's really not needed at all. But we are going to add some seasonings. Again, you don't really have to, but I have them on hand, and so we're going to. I'm really trying to be better with leftovers and find ways to repurpose them because throwing food away drives me insane. But I don't like eating the same thing over and over again either. So our cheese is mixed in pretty good. Just gonna add some seasonings. So I'm gonna do about half a teaspoon of some onion powder. So if you have any good ideas or tried and true recipes for remaking leftovers, definitely leave them in the comment section because I would love to try that out. Probably about 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then I really like parsley. So I'm gonna do about 1/4 of a teaspoon of that. I've also seen variations of this where you can, once you get the mashed potato balls into balls, you can do like an egg wash and roll them in breadcrumbs. But I'm not going to do that. I have a whole cup of flour here, but I don't think we're going to need that much. So I'm going to start off, it's probably about 1/4 cup, and mix that in. Because again, we're kind of looking for a dough consistency so we can mold them into balls. And what the flour does is it just really helps them not to fall apart when you're frying them. Another 1/4 of a cup. I think I'm going to reserve that last half a cup, or not reserve it because I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to put it back in my container because this is getting to be pretty stiff. I think if you warm them up more is where you can kind of really see like a nice smooth dough, where my potatoes are still a little cold. So it's not really smooth, but I think this is gonna work. It smells very good. I smell the garlic, delicious. All right, I'm going to clean up a little bit here for a second and I'll be right back. All right, so now we are going to make these into balls. I have my little cookie scoop. I think the smoothness might also be affected by the fact that I had lumpy mashed potatoes, which I like. So I don't like them super lumpy, but I do like there to be chunks of potato in there so you like know that it's real potato, you know what I mean? So we are just gonna keep rolling these into balls. I would say it's probably a tablespoon size. So I'm gonna finish getting all of these into balls and then we will be back when we are ready to cook them. All right, so we rolled all of these into little mashed potato cheese balls, and we are going to get our pan hot. Move this more into the middle. So our 3 cups of potato and half a cup of flour made about 2½ dozen of those, which is quite a bit. We have about a 1/2 inch of oil in the bottom of our pan. So we're gonna shallow fry these. Let them get nice and golden and warm so that cheese is nice and melty. Let that warm up. Can start to see the oil swirl. And test it with just a little piece of potato. All right, our oil is hot, so we're gonna get some of these in here. You do want to make sure that you have room to move them around. And just remember, like, everything's already cooked and we don't have egg or anything in here that needs to be cooked for food safety reasons. We are just getting these warmed up. Ooh, we lost our bottom. Warmed up and golden brown. The parts that I'm losing are the cheese parts on the outside. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. We're kind of starting to get some smoky oil. And make sure before we put our new batch in that we get those loose, crispy pieces off the pan so that they don't burn. These are just kind of nice and golden. Yeah, definitely turn our heat down a little bit. But so far, that one's kind of burnt, but get that off for sure. I mean, not put as many in this time either. Five. Keep them moving. Here we go. All right, we found our rhythm. Because again, these aren't cooking really. They're just to get brown and crispy and that cheese melty. But they are cooked. There we go. Found our rhythm. Try to get our really browned parts out. And again, All right, last batch going in. Chose to deep fry, or not deep fry, but fry in this pan because I'm working on seasoning it. So this seems like the oil is really helping with that. So definitely retains heat well because I've had to turn the heat down multiple times. There we go. Our last 3. Turn this all the way off. And scoop these out. Alright, and here is our plate of crispy, cheesy potato balls. Here. Look at that cheese pull. Really good way to use up any leftover mashed potatoes. I'm sure this would be great with like added ham in it or something. But these will definitely make your family want to eat leftover mashed potatoes again. So good. Again, let me know down in the comment section below if you have any ideas for reutilizing leftovers. And I will see you guys on the next one.